Oh, hello adventurers, and welcome to Grey Wolf Adventuring. I'm Elle, and I have some quite interesting news for you. So, as you can probably guess from my channel, I enjoy a few tangentially related things. Dungeons and Dragons, swashbuckling historical adventures, and creative writing. So, in an attempt to combine all of those, I've been working on a project. I've been writing a D&D adventure and campaign setting. At the moment, it's called the Azure Archipelago, Temple of the Ombre Butterfly. My sentence-long elevator pitch for the Azure Archipelago is simply Pirates of the Caribbean meets Jurassic Park. The Azure Archipelago is a collection of 11 islands, all with their own settlements, quests, and cultures to discover. As players, you will hack through dense jungle and navigate dangerous reefs as you slowly find more and more information about the titular Temple of the Ombre Butterfly. The plan is for me to create weekly vlogs on the work I've done on the project. What I'd like to do with you is discuss the progress I'm making and also milestones or changes that I've made along the way. Hopefully, these insights will inform your own creative world building and will show you what it takes to bring a D&D game from pure imagination to actually published. This means that you get weekly videos about D&D and creative world building, whilst I have an obligation to continue working on this project as well as delivering videos to you lot. So if you like the idea of that, make sure to give this video a like and also comment about what kind of content you want to see from this vlog series. With that, thanks for staying on board for this long, nautical pun. I am genuinely so open-minded to any comments or criticism you guys have as we go along on this project, and I want to be quite open with it. The work on the Azure Archipelago Temple of the Ombre Butterfly I have done this week is, I have begun formatting the campaign so it's actually understandable to someone that is reading it other than me. If you're a DM, you will completely empathise with what I mean by that. When prepping for a D&D session, even if it's a pre-written adventure, you end up just having a random collection of notes and they do make sense in your head. But I'm not making it for me, I'm making it so everyone can understand it. Let's be fair. I could write the most in-depth D&D adventure ever created, but if the DM can't translate that to the players, then it's useless. What this has meant is basically going through a D&D adventure book that I already have, seeing what they've done with the introduction and chapters, and copying the format over for my own use. I already have the basic plot, the antagonists, and the location. That was done literally years ago. But now it's time to flesh that out so the DM can read it, understand it, and then share it with the players. I'm also thinking about what somebody that plans to run the campaign needs in every single page. This has led me this week to primarily focus on the introduction. I've been using the format that other D&D adventures use, where they talk about the setting and the main antagonists. This has been unbelievably helpful, as I've essentially created a synopsis for the entire adventure in about 5 or 6 paragraphs. I don't know if this is me just being super ADHD brain, but I've really enjoyed creating it in different sections as it's gone, rather than starting at the beginning and trying to finish at the end. I think moving from one island to another or one chapter to another has been really helpful in getting the kind of realistic chaos. This is a problem that I've witnessed in a lot of D&D one-shots, where they're very formulaic and not very deep at all. In a D&D campaign, I love the idea of misinterpreted or misremembered lore or red herrings. You might think this breaks the contract between a DM and a player, as the player can only interpret what the DM has told them, but in real folklore and mythology, things are misremembered or reinterpreted all the time. As a DM, you shouldn't make the players feel like idiots because they followed a red herring or a misremembered rumour. Rather than following one plot hook to the next plot hook to the next plot hook to the BBEG, instead they've navigated the world as someone that actually exists in it. This is why, in the Azure Archipelago, I've decided to include an unbelievable amount of random encounters. The party may completely forego the main narrative of the adventure because one of their characters got crushed by a stampeding triceratops. This is brilliant for player satisfaction, as they feel that they're actually writing the narrative of the campaign rather than just following along these arbitrary plot points that I have told the DM to give them. This means, as a DM, you actually get to be creative, rather than just reading text from a book. That being said, another thing I've been working on are random NPC tables. Each island has its own NPC table, which is based around the island's population and cultures. Meanwhile, in the seafaring and navigation section of the book, I have a list of 20 NPCs that could be on any ship's crew. With tailored NPC tables, when a player asks, "Oh, who do I see around me?" all the DM has to do is read from the book. A DM could just invent these NPCs on the fly, but if you've already prepared for this situation, they can be tied to plot hooks and even have rumours or information that will help the players understand the world better. One thing I have struggled with in this week though is tying this massive story together, especially when I've been working on it incrementally. As the narrative has evolved, I've realised that definitely some aspects of it need to be reworked. This is a positive thing though. I think we get very attached to the work that we've created, and then the idea of deleting a paragraph or something makes you feel like, oh well, what was the point of even doing that in the first place? As you write more, you'll have better ideas, and that means that something that you've previously written may need to be changed. That's fine. Saying that, the introduction I have now is a good first draft, so I'm going to leave that and move into chapter 1, which is the first island players will explore. I already have a decent length description of the island and settlements. I have 3 quests included on the island. I also have the random NPC table and the random encounters table. This island I've put more time into than the rest, so it's already quite fleshed out. My main objective for this next week will be appropriately formatting that chapter so it's legible for a DM and makes sense narratively. So hopefully next week I will have a full island completed, and I'll be able to tell you about all the trials and tribulations that came along with doing that. If you have any questions about world building, creative writing, or if the Azure Archipelago has intrigued you at all, make sure to leave me a question and I promise I'll get back to you. Hopefully me being transparent about my own creative journey might inspire you to begin yours, which would be awesome. With that, if you want to be inspired by real world historical adventures, please click this link, or if you want to improve as a dungeon master, this playlist will help you. Thanks so much, and I'll speak to you next week.